What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest of gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley, that's Scott Savage, and you can join us at InsideTheGame.ca, our YouTube channel, Inside the Game Official, our fast channel over at Rad TV, our beautiful television streaming platforms around the globe, just like Jinx Esports TV, ESTV, Amazon Prime. Dude, the list, I was just like, where do we go next? Because we have so many other outlets. And don't forget, we're also on the other side, too. We got you covered over there in the audio side. That's right, Fired Up Network has you covered all across 212 platforms. You can't miss us at this point, Scott.
We're just about everywhere now.
Exactly. Yo, what's on today's show?
Well, coming up on today's show, we're going to talk about the end of Fntastic. That is the biggest mess we're going to remember for quite some time.
Yep.
From that, we're going to talk about how there's a new program, getting Xbox Game Pass by watching ads. And lastly, Insomniac Games has suffered a ransomware attack. Beware of spoilers.
Yeah, Wolverine spoilers could be up on the horizon, but we'll see. Hopefully not. Scott, you and I jumped in last night. We're back on the world of Halo Firefight. I'm a little mixed. Dude, it was fun, but after a while, I'm like, I'm ready for something else. I just kind of, I had that Siege craving as well, so there's a little bit of that. New season, is that right? That new map. I want to dive back into that new map. I'm looking forward to it. We're only a few days away now at this point from the holidays starting for us here. Oh, dude, I can taste the holidays. I can taste it. We are like this close. We'll be taking a bit of a break. Oh, yeah, I can get caught up, right? I got a lot of catching up to do, but we'll be talking about that and much more in the near future, and a couple other things coming up too while we're gone over the holidays. But until then, let's talk about Fntastic. Not so fantastic. Scott, dude, before we even get started, I got a gripe already off the top of the show. The Game Awards just came and went. You all know on my arm is Metal Gear Solid. One of my favorite developers of all time, KOJIMA, produced one of the most amazing experiences of my life, set me on my path. Here's the problem I have now with you, KOJIMA. I'm calling you out. Is your shift from stealth to this horror garbage you're producing. How am I supposed to stay a fan if I can't even play his game, Scott? OD announced on stage, I'm not gonna play this. He's gonna work on some other spooky game. I'm not gonna play that one either. Dude, shifted away from me. It's breaking my heart.
I'll have to play this one. I'll have to play this one and tell you all about it, and you can tell me all about Metal Gear Solid 4 that I skipped on.
Dude, it's a deal.
Exclusivity.
Yo, it was heartbreaking to see. I was happy to see KOJIMA out there once again, but at the same time, comes up with OD. It's like, oh no, that's a big NO from this guy. It's not what I want to see.
There is still DS and DS2 coming soon.
I guess.
Eventually.
But Death Stranding was such a departure from Metal Gear. I was like, what am I didn't even know what I was playing. Norman Reedus to this day doesn't even know what he played, and he was in the game, right? Like, it's just. So when we get into DS2, I'm like, I don't know if I can do it. Again, he's got this whole other vision now that he's snaking along, and I'm just, KOJIMA, you're killing me. You're killing me, man. I just can't handle it. Scott, I don't think what anybody can handle is what happened to the day before, because crap happens, as it's been titled.
Yeah, we're seeing the professionality shift away from Fntastic's personality now.
Yeah, they no longer care, right? I think that's what it really comes down to. At the end of the day, they are torn apart. Yesterday on the show, top of the show, the day before, just a bad game. Well, it got worse yesterday. By the end of the day, we found out the studio, Fntastic, closed. That was it. 4 days after launch of the day before, they're done. Let's get into it, Scott. Grant Taylor Hill over at Insider Game, you had this. On the latest episode of the fall of the day before, we join Fntastic, the game's B-Leaguer developer, who has taken to social circles to publish a heartfelt, emotional statement. Quote, "This was our big first experience. Crap happens." End quote. I don't know that's how you take that, but okay. The sentiment is representative of the entire project, right? Hours ago, it was announced that Fntastic would be closing down in its operations just 4 days after the release of the day before. The long-awaited game that was believed to be a scam since it was revealed back in 2021. It had one of the most suspicious debut developed journeys in gaming history, and when it surfaced, it was quite clear that the project was effectively a rug pull. Well, here we go. And now, the escape. Dude, the way he set this up, it is something else. Yeah. There were countless indicators that the project was a failure from the start. As the time went on, things got worse, and nothing Fntastic, the developer, could help the situation. Now, the company is running rampant on social media, almost openly mocking the people who purchased the game at full price. That's right, this early access game that was barely built is a serviceable state was being sold for $40, Scott.
That's the only reason I wanna highlight that little bit there. That's the only reason I can laugh and be so jovial about this, because it's humorous to me as much as it's offensive to others.
Yeah,
I
no,
would be not so I wouldn't be laughing if I had spent the money myself. I understand that.
yeah. It doesn't end there though. On social media and Steam, things are changing. In recent hours, Fntastic CEO has disabled his Twitter account, and on Steam, Fntastic's old games are being amended, with the developer being altered to read 8 points instead of Fntastic. What is that? They're just changing. So this was my fear coming out of yesterday. This is what I was terrified of. Fntastic closes, that team just opens up another studio name, right?
Yeah.
And here we are, 8 points. Yo, keep an eye on those. Don't go to anything 8 points. I'm telling you right now. Mytona's name is also being removed from everything. This being the publisher that reportedly funded the entire project from day one. The firm's website is nothing more than a landing page with a post explaining that the studio is closing, and the day before can no longer be purchased on Steam for obvious reasons. Oh man, every sign the day before. Go ahead.
It kills my my post-mortem autopsy that I wanted to do. That's not going to happen now.
It was, man, oh man, like this was bad. I want to pull in topic number 2 because again, more the day before. Every sign the day before was a scam. This is Great Taylor Hill again. From the moment the day before surfaced, millions were skeptical of the game's existence. It looked too good to be true, and with obviously no tangible updates to go on, many branded the project as a scam from the get-go. Here are all the red flags that surfaced around the day before since its reveal back in 2021. Gameplay videos were scripted. The day before, dude, often gameplay trailers are scripted. It's kind of how that works, right?
Yeah,
like,
that's a little bit understandable.
Yes, absolutely. They definitely want to do certain things that highlight what you can expect.
As long as you're not doing the Killzone 2. That was where it went too far and everybody noticed. But
man, yeah. The day before was reviewed by developers and videos uploaded to YouTube, and they stressed how the gameplay videos that were surfacing look scripted, AI generated, and representative vertical slices. This is where a fully developed portion of the game is shown when the rest of the game doesn't exist, giving the impression that the title is much more developed than it is. In other words, the gameplay we were seeing wasn't gameplay. Unpaid volunteers were pulled into the studio. Wow. Fntastic started using unpaid volunteers to create the day before, and when challenged on this topic, the studio published a strange statement filled with just a bunch of ramblings of nothing. And what a joke, Scott. And it just gets worse, right? The first game was a similar story. Flag 2, right? The studio changed direction remarkably fast. Again, no gameplay was shown almost ever. Dude, he's got a full, long list of everything. And this was a just complete flop from the get-go. Here's the other side of it too. The day before, used the Unreal Engine marketplace to pull all of its sources in and drop into the game. Normally those are used as placeholders, right? They pull in, cool, we'll use this, but then you gotta modify that somehow, some way, make it fantastic. Like the studio
version of the cars in the street or whatever it is.
Exactly. Don't just, okay, cool, I'm gonna purchase this drop, purchase that drop, and then use that. That's not how it works. I heard even the third-person camera was purchased and then used. Dude, the whole game sounds like it was just purchased online from the Unreal Engine store, dropped into the game, and that's what they're putting out. And
I'm surprised we didn't see that door close like The Division. To see that exact
Right?
thing reused, because at this point it seems so offensively obvious that it's and all to this, they had posted a statement saying, please do not accuse us of scamming. We didn't do that because we didn't take your money directly. Somehow they've justified that.
Yeah.
And then saying it's insane to me that you can do this. And it just said, please don't accuse us of being an asset flip. But that's objectively true.
Exactly. Yeah. Mytona is the publisher who has put out a statement saying that Fntastic never received a dime because they didn't make any money and they don't receive anything. So if you thought they got your money and took off, that's not the case, which is nice to know, right? I think that's the other side of it. A lot of people are like, yo, you guys just put out the game, got our money, and then closed up and took off. Not the case here. They didn't get paid at all, which is good to know. But again, man, the minute they close, I'm like, what studio name are they going to come up with now? And there it is, 8 points. I'm like, yo, Scott, we're going to be staying away from that one. No reviews going under 8 points.
No, as much as it might be funny, a little bit humorous.
Yeah, this is something to be aware of moving forward, right? Where studios can't do this. Don't shaft people. The way the internet is set up, dude, Fntastic right now is lit up on Twitter. You can't do this. This is just something you cannot do at all, ever. Because you'll get called down on it. People know it. Dude, we're part of this on a daily basis. This is what we do. And there's certain things we saw. This is, man, when it looks too good to be true, it usually is. I know we're starting to get to a standard now of, holy crap, that is amazing. You can do that now. But those are some top tier developers, not first time studios. Right? So usually, like even when first time studios come out, Immortals Vavium as an example, right? Brand new studio with some high level veterans. And that game didn't sell banging numbers at all, unfortunately, right? It met in the middle, and they've had to hit with layoffs. Studio's still alive. This one, completely dead. Scott, this is an interesting one. Xbox Game Pass for free. Didn't see this one coming. Microsoft is experimenting with ad views for access to hundreds of Xbox games.
Oh, it's never free.
No, there's the catch, right? Jez Gordon over at Windows Central. Microsoft Gaming CFO Tim Stewart recently caused a furor during a Wells Fargo summit where he suggested Xbox is seeking to bring Xbox Game Pass to competing platforms such as PlayStation and Nintendo. I don't think he'll ever make it on Nintendo or PlayStation. Nintendo, yes. PlayStation, no. We had mentioned this like 2 weeks ago, I think it was. But either way, Microsoft's gaming CEO Phil Spencer later denied those plans, which seemed to be more of a North Star aspirational goal rather than an actual true-to-life one. Man, one hand needs to talk to the other. Microsoft hasn't been shy about wanting to get Xbox Game Pass onto every screen possible, but of course many platforms aren't particularly forthcoming. Apple, for example, blocks Game Pass on its iOS App Store as it sees as a competition for its own game sales. Makes total sense. And I bet you that's right where PlayStation lies, right? Like that doesn't, man, good luck. That'll never happen, Scott. Never happen.
Is there a PlayStation mobile ecosystem though? Because I'm not really aware of the whole PlayStation side. I know there is an app and you can message people through it, but
yeah, but they've got the streaming side too, right? If you pay for the ultimate platform for Plus, you can stream games, and then you can use your backbone so you can stream it through your phone and all this stuff. And then now the PlayStation Portal is available, right? So
it still does the Sony Ericsson kind of model, where bouncing it to your phone.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah. Still, this hasn't stopped Microsoft from exploring further innovation for its platform. Recently, I noticed a report from the table enthusiast and generally lovely chap Derek Heap at Tweaktown that describes some comments from Tim Stewart that I'd missed. Stewart describes a scenario for Xbox Game Pass expansion by which Microsoft may offer Xbox Game Pass access in exchange for viewing advertisements. Quote, models like Africa or India, Southeast Asia, maybe places that aren't console first, you can say, hey, do you want to watch 30 seconds of an ad and then get 2 hours of game streaming? Stewart continued, Africa is, 50% of the population is 23 years older or younger with a growing disposable income base. all with cell phones and mobile devices. Not a lot of high-end disposable income, generally speaking. So we can go in with our own business models and say, there's millions of gamers we would never have been able to address, and now we can go in with our business models. Scott, it's an interesting take to think that we're getting advertisements to play 2 hours of games, and then, dude, this is the mobile market at the end of the day, right?
Well, it's interesting to me that he's saying a lot of things that simultaneously. They have disposable income in these markets, but at the same time, maybe they don't, so we need to offer them an alternative way of getting this. But then you're getting all these people on the hook for Xbox, but you don't believe they have disposable income, so why? I'm wondering what the motivation is there. Is it really just to put? Yeah, I could see that. You get so many eyes on advertisements, that you're able to market that to the rest of the advertisement block. I could see that working out.
Yeah, Microsoft has previously surveyed Xbox users on the Xbox Insider program and via other avenues about the possibility of offering Xbox Game Pass time in exchange for viewing advertisements. And recently, security researcher Tidal OS shared some code snippets from the Xbox OS that describe systems that could provide access to Xbox Game Pass via an on an earned timed basis, complete in 15-minute blocks. Man, I would hate to be in the middle of doing last night we played Firefight, Scott. What is it?
Yeah, Firefight.
Yeah, in Halo. Can you imagine being halfway through that and all of a sudden we get hit with an ad?
Oh man, yeah. You drop out for an ad while we're fighting the invisible elites with swords.
Not a chance.
That happened to end us right at the end of the 5th round.
I would think it'd be game by game basis, right? So if you want to play the campaign, you got to be able to pause the game. There's a lot of code that's going to go in on the back end of this to make that work. Does an ad pop up in the corner while it still lets you play, or does it take over the full screen?
Yeah.
Right? All of a sudden you're in, because some games you cannot pause, especially in online, right? GTA Online, Red Dead Online, for example, you can't pause those games. That's an online world you're living in. Multiplayer games, right? Call of Duty. There's no way you're going to pause a Call of Duty match so you can get a 15, 30-second ad come up in your face.
I wonder what kind of, if these are specific games, very specific projects, but then you look at this part of the world, would this include any of the soccer games? FIFA games do massive numbers outside of North America. So I'm wondering, would that be something that's viable? Would it be worth it to you? Is a game going to get cut off halfway through? It seems really frustrating to me, but I wonder if this will be very specific cases, like you're saying, very specific games only in offline.
I think so.
The quick resume function, I guess, is being rolled out as part of this. Must be.
Yeah, it has to be, because that quick resume, I guess, is one of your options, right? Allows you to be able to pause your game, come back in later. Dude, I love quick resume. I use it a lot. I use it a ton. Right now, on the quick resume dock is Dishonored. So when I have a few minutes, it's ready to go, and I'm back into exactly where I left off, and I continue on. There's got to be the same mentality here and the same code to use when it comes to advertising. Here's the thing: Dishonored, single player game, right? So you get access to Xbox Game Pass, but you're limited on what games you're able to play. Has to be the way that's going to work, right? Single player content, sure. Multiplayer, no. You need to pay and level up, and then not actually get ads, right? So there's going to be two sides to it. I wonder how limited this is going to be at the end of the day.
Yeah, and limited to geographical area as well. Is this something I can do, or is this only going to be in these other markets?
But yeah, that's a good question right there too, right? Does this matter to Canadians and U.S. market at all? Are they looking at us, or they're like, you know what, they're buying it all in right now? Who cares? We're gonna go to the places that we don't currently see our platform being used, and I think that's their focus, right? When they talk about how over in Africa and India that is a heavy focus on mobile devices, that's a smart move. It really is a smart business move to think about. Well, they're already there, but what if they're playing a game and then 2 hours go by, they're still playing, or a half hour goes by and then an advertisement pops up, right? Microsoft gets a cut for every click and every view they get for that ad. Boom, there's more money, right? Business is business at the end of the day. They gotta figure out how to keep the lights on, but I don't think they're doing that bad that they need to do this. But at the same time, I'm not inside there either, and I'm not that smart. So we'll see what happens. Scott, this is some frustrating news. Insomniac Games suffers alleged ransomware attack. Here we go. Man, oh man. Tom Henderson, Insider Gaming. Dude, the Insider Gaming on fire today. Insomniac Games has suffered a ransomware attack, leaking employee personal information and future game plans. It's been revealed. First spotted by Cyber Daily, the ransomware hacker group Wishlisted has posted proof of claims that they've hacked Wolverine developer Insomniac Games. As proof of claims, the group has posted some employees' and ex-employees' personal data, including passport images, as well as some images for the studio's next game, Marvel's Wolverine. Personal documents also include that the former Marvel Spider-Man 2 voice actor, really, Yuri Linthimore. Why are they doing this? Man, I don't understand this. I never understand why we get into this. Why people have to do this. Man, the last thing you ever do is post, obviously, your passport. What a disrespectful company, person, people, group, whatever they are, to do this to Insomniac.
Yeah, this ransomware group would take your pets if they could to ransom it to you.
It looks like it, right? Wishlisted Group has said that Insomniac Games has 7 days to make an undisclosed payment before the data is made public. The group, however, is also running a public auction on its website for the data, which states around $2 million in Bitcoin. Their website reads, quote, with just 7 days on the clock, seize the opportunity to bid on exclusive, unique, and impressive data, end quote. It continues, quote, open your wallets and be ready to buy exclusive data. We sell only the one hand, no reselling. You will be the only owner, end quote.
You can't monetize that. You can't socialize that. You can't do anything with that other than to anonymously drip it to the public. But why?
Man.
Why would you spend money on that? I don't understand.
I don't understand it. My heart goes out to everybody in Insomniac affected by this. This is not something you want to see, like your passport, everything being tossed up just because they want some money out of you. It is. I expect PlayStation to step up here real quick, figure out what's going on, and hopefully sees what is happening. Hopefully they can get this resolved, and we can get these people behind bars where they belong.
Yeah, I don't know how you handle something like a ransomware situation, but this cannot continue.
No, not at all, right? We can't stand for this. Cyber hacks are definitely a thing to be aware of, and if you're looking for spoilers, heads up, because Wolverine might be getting spoiled here sooner or later. Hopefully not. God, as we get closer to the end of the year, we're starting to get a little fewer and fewer games out, but there are a few. What are we playing today?
We have Stellaris Nexus entering PC Early Access today. SpongeBob SquarePants The Cosmic Shake now comes to iOS and Android. I played that a little while ago. Had a good time. We have a review if you're interested. And Bear and Breakfast is now on the PlayStation 4 and 5 and sounds lovely.
Nice. And that'll wrap up today's show, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us. This has been ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news each and every day. We'll be back again tomorrow. I'm Drew. That's Scott.
We'll see you inside the game.